about to go live. Two, one, and we are going live. Can you see everything on your screens, guys?
Ruling the nation, dominating your TV station. Beat the call, the escalation. This is your radio salvation. Go, 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 go.
We're live.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everybody.
Ooh, we got like echoey
we
as
got,
hell
like,
inside
echoey as-
my headphones, by the way. So, welcome back, everybody. This is episode number 2. Yay! Welcome back. We thank you guys for tuning in again, or for the first time, one or the other. And please, if you guys get a chance, you can download our app at GoLive Vegas. It's available for iPhones and for the Androids and all that kind of good stuff. Also, make sure you guys, we have all the stuffs. We have YouTube, we have the app, we have Facebook, Twitter, and Periscope. We have all the things. If you guys are watching online, you guys can look at all that stuff right there, right there. So we have a really good friend of mine in the studio today, but just a couple of other quick things. We are, of course, looking for sponsors and advertisers. It's a brand new show, so if you would like to be part of our show and sponsor or advertise with us, you guys can email us directly through the different sites and get a hold of Aaron. He is the producer, and he will take care of all that great stuff. You guys can talk to him. And also, if you would like to be a guest on this show, if you have something wild, crazy, weird, or just interesting to talk about, if you believe in flat Earth, UFOs, aliens, paranormal stuff, anything at all, I'm looking for people to put on the show. We have a bunch of great guests coming up over the next few weeks. I encourage you guys to tune in. We're going to be letting you guys know as much as possible when all that stuff is happening, but we encourage you guys to tune in, and every week we're going to be talking to somebody new and fun, and mostly going to be Las Vegas based, but you never know who might show up. So with that all being said, I'd like to introduce you guys somebody I've known now for, God, it's got to be what, like 11 years?
Ish.
11, yeah,
Sure.
about 11 years, I think now. We've known each other a long fucking time.
Long time.
A long time. And he's a good friend of mine, an amazing sideshow performer, and is now one of the stars of the new show, Run, Are You In? Oh, it's so clever. By Cirque du Soleil over at the Luxor. And we're going to get into all that kind of stuff. But please welcome to the show, Mr. Andrew S. Yeah. And we're gonna play a video. Oh, we got a little video of him, and so to show you guys a little bit about him. So here it comes. Are we back? Did we lose the feed? Oh, there we go.
Okay.
You gotta love live shows, people. Audio technical difficulties. us.
But
We're back. We're back. Andrew, thank you so much for coming in, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
It's always great to see you. We've done a lot of fun stuff over the years together. We've done some
On and off stage.
On and off stage. Yes, we have. Some things we can talk about, and other things we just will not. But still good times. So, Andrew is the creator, founder of the Swing Shift Sideshow, and you guys should, if you guys get a chance, please go online. You can check out his website and stuff like that. What is the website exactly?
SwingShiftSideshow.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And that's made, and your website created by the great Bizarro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I love that guy.
It's still in construction right now. Looked good a while ago. I needed it updated.
Yeah.
So yeah. He's helping me out.
The websites, like our lives, sometimes are always in construction.
Yeah, it's in construction right now. So
I totally understand.
he does fantastic work.
Yeah. I'm gonna get him on eventually here, because he's as you know, a very interesting and weird guy.
Oh, he's got so many talents, it's ridiculous.
I know, and I've worked a lot with him on some of the escape room stuff that he's involved in. He's heavily involved in that stuff now.
Oh, for sure.
And his creation of like some really cool magic stuff. He is like the go-to guy here in town. Like all of us, like I don't know a person here in town who's a good performer who doesn't use him for something.
Yeah.
Because he is like the brains of so many great ideas and electronic doodads, and God,
Yeah.
it's fun.
And he mostly just walks around in his pajamas. I love it.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. Pajamas and a hat.
Yes.
Pajamas and a hat. When I was working on the cruise ships and stuff, I would come back and I would always stay. His house was like the flop house of every performer.
I believe it's called the Magic Hostel.
The Magic Hostel, except none of us paid anything because we're all cheap as shit. But him and his wife Liz are just awesome people. Yeah. I love those guys to death. I remember the first time I met him. We were, I think it was at the Harley Davidson Cafe or something like that. And Josh, Jungle Josh, as you know, he introduced us. He was like, "You gotta meet this guy Bizarro," and introduced us. And I was like, "Oh, what do you do?" And he does, and he starts doing the stuff with like Sharpie markers, like color changing Sharpie marker things. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And then he did this trick with a handkerchief where he puts the handkerchief through his hand and was pulling it back and forth.
Love that one.
And I looked at him and I was like, how much do you want for that? And he's like, not for sale. I'm like, shit balls. And I literally ask him, I think almost every single time I see him, and he still says no. I want that trick so much. I just want to do it at home. Like I just want to stand in front of a mirror and do it. Yeah. Because it's just such a good trick. But let's get into you, my friend.
Okay.
So a lot of things have happened for you. You've been on the circuit a long time, like I have, doing sideshows and doing the tattoo conventions, of course, and haunted attractions.
Sure.
Which, of course, October is always like one of the biggest times of the year for people like ourselves, because the rest of the year are like, oh, you're gross, and then Halloween comes around like, oh my God, you guys are amazing.
Yeah.
It's always a very interesting thing. And are you also a giant fan of fancy facial hair?
Yeah, I guess.
I remember when the beard was not that long.
No.
I remember it was much smaller. I think
you just
when
keep
I first
it away from fire and knives, and it keeps coming out of your face.
But I always enjoy your look. I mean, you've had this look with your hair, because half your head is shaved, half is not, and stuff like that. And you're committed to a look much like myself.
It might just be laziness. Like, I don't want to change. I don't like changing.
You don't like changing.
If it works, I might change it. I'm like, well, it just keeps getting longer. So, am I going to change my mind? I don't know. Just sure, it works.
Somebody said
Keep
to me
going.
one time, they were like, for someone, you guys go through an awful lot of work to look like you don't give a shit.
Oh, what was it? Dolly Parton. It costs a lot of money to look this trashy.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's a lot of effort. People don't realize like the time you put into this. Like, I got a lot of stuff on me.
Yeah.
Between my hair and the beard and the the makeup and stuff. And it's like, when you look like this, you kind of have to commit yourself to the look. So when you go out, if you can't just roll out of bed and be like, oh, okay, I'm just going to do this today, and just go outside. I mean, it just doesn't work. It's like, because if you don't commit to the whole thing, then you just look like a hobo, I think.
Well, yeah, no, for sure. When I have my beard unkept and it's just kind of bushy and I'm wearing regular clothes and a beanie, people don't recognize me, and they usually walk on the other side of the street from me. I put up the mustache, everybody's talking, hey, how's it going?
What do you
Grandma's
do?
high-fiving you at grocery stores.
I love your look, young man.
Yeah, but, earlier that morning when I was all bushy,
You're a homeless guy.
Well, I mean, just because you're rent free doesn't mean you're a bad person. But, you know.
I love that. Rent free. That's a nice way to put it. I live rent free. That'd be great.
I did it in the Geo Metro for a while. It was good.
Oh my God. So when did you move? Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Hawaii.
Originally from Hawaii.
Island of Oahu.
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 Yeah. And you're very committed to that area because you actually have it tattooed on your body.
Yes. I got it tattooed on my navel, on my pico, because that's where you're from. Your mother is your connection to life and all that stuff. So I got it tattooed over my navel.
Nice. We're gonna Andrew in a little bit is actually gonna be demonstrating some of his amazing talents. He does in the sideshow world. He's really known for doing some of the more hardcore stunts. I mean, realistically, you've created some stuff that other people have never done before,
right?
And then some people do now, whether you liked it or not.
I guess you're an instant classic, huh?
Yeah.
People who've been in the biz about 15 years longer than you instantly start doing what you do.
I really like that. I'm going to do that.
Classic.
It's an instant classic.
That means anybody can do it, right?
Apparently.
Yeah.
The sideshow world, a lot like the magic world, is a very interesting beast, because like everybody who's ever done sideshow has put a nail in their nose at one point or another.
Yeah.
It's kind of the bread and butter almost of sideshow, I think.
There's a pun in there somewhere, booger and
bread and booger. But I mean, really, it really is. It's like the human blockhead stunt. I don't know a single person who doesn't do it, but I've never seen anybody do it the same way. Everybody has their own shtick, and some people.
You want to know something crazy?
Yes.
Absolutely bizarre.
Yes.
I've never hammered a nail in my nose.
Never even once. Never just. Because you're like,
you see me hammer swords in my throat?
Yeah.
You seen anybody before me do that?
I don't recall.
I just went, why the nose when you can do it down your throat?
That pertains to so many things, oddly.
That's our job, right?
That's our job.
Just skating around puns all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Put it in your face.
Put it in your mouth. You sure do have a pretty mouth. But yeah, I mean, you are known as an innovator. You really are. I mean, one of the things that you do. I remember the first time. I do remember the first time I met you. It was at the old Debbie Reynolds Hotel and Casino.
Yes.
We had a mutual friend named Curtis, who is no longer with us, but he was a half man.
It's going to be 15 years this April.
Is it 15 years he passed away now?
Yeah,
wow.
This April.
Jesus, that's so God. So we've known each other because we met before he died.
Okay.
Probably maybe, I don't know, about a year or so before he died, maybe?
So we've known each other for like 15, 16 years?
Yeah, easily. If that's the case. I thought it was less. But
okay.
But we met there, and I remember you brought, because we were sitting out at the bar after, he was in a show called The World's Greatest Magic Show.
Yeah. And
he was working with a good friend of mine named Kevin James. He's an amazing
awesome guy.
Magician, fantastic guy. He's in a show called The Illusionist. If you guys are out there, if this comes to your city or your town or whatever, go see it. It's a great show.
Yeah, Kevin James got a lot of videos online.
Yeah, Kevin James. Look up Kevin James, Magician, and you'll see his act is fantastic, just absolutely fantastic. And I remember meeting Curtis, and he was like, "Oh, my friend Andrew is coming from Utah, because you lived in Utah."
I lived in Utah.
You?
That's where I met Curtis.
That's where you met
I was
Curtis.
up in Utah for a little bit. Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, he does sideshow stuff too." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I remember we were sitting there, and you showed up, and then you took this thing out, and it was like this giant bed spring kind of looking thing.
Except for it didn't spring.
It didn't spring. It was solid, and I think it was about that long.
Bring it in a little bit.
Was it smaller?
Yeah, there we go. It was about 5 turns.
The original one was much smaller. So I remember you took this out. You're like, "Hey, I'm working on this new thing." And you took this coil and you put it in your nose and you started twisting it, and it came out your mouth and started twisting around. I'm like, that's fucking cool. And I had never seen it. I mean, it's obvious. It's a variation on the blockhead.
Yeah.
But instead of a drill, which a lot of us do, or the nail, which a lot of us do, or utensils, or different things that you can shove in your nose that we all have shoved in there. You had this coil thing. I was like, wow, that's really, really cool. And fast forward a bunch of years later, then all of a sudden I saw you doing it connected to a drill, and the friggin' spring was like this long.
Yeah, about double the size.
Yeah, and then you were doing, then you had two of them, and you're doing both of them simultaneously, and I was just like, holy shit, this is super super cool, and it was really weird, but it's like, but we always remained.
I haven't seen anybody copy the double power drill.
I have not either. I've only seen people do it by hand. I've never. That's the only version I've seen. Anybody who does a version who's doing what you did, they did it by hand.
Hand crank.
Yeah, just hand crank. No one else was doing it. I mean, and we've done live shows together. We actually did quite a few shows in a very short period of time together.
Yes, we did. Ooh, that was a little warm.
Yeah, it was warm. So I used to do this fair called the Pima County Fair in Tucson, Arizona, which is great. I love that fair so much. And a woman I'm still in contact with and still friends with, Lana, who is the entertainment manager for the fair, is such a woman. I mean, I've known her and her family for like 20 years almost now. It's ridiculous, and I've watched her kids grow up, and now her kids have kids. It's very. Now I feel super old, but awesome. But she would bring me back year after year, and she was like, "You need to bring like, like I want more weird people. I want like more over the top." And I'm like, "Fuck." Who am I? I was like, wait a minute, I got a guy. And we were doing 3 shows a day for 11 days straight. Yep. So it was 33 shows in 11 days, which I don't know if you guys, that's a lot of shows. I mean, the shows were only 30 minutes, which they weren't like super long. But when you're doing 33 back-to-back shows day after day after day, and then you're in the Arizona heat and the wind. I remember the wind out there in the desert.
I remember I had a bitch out on the tubes getting whipped out of my nose. I was like, and you're like, dude, we're already over time anyways. Don't worry about it. But I'm like, but I got to do the thing. And you're like, just
no, just like, okay. You don't have to kill yourself. The people still love you. The people still love you. You're still doing more amazing shit than anybody else is doing. So it was.
Hey, if I'm not putting, swords through my lungs, then who am I?
But so we met there, and you've been in Las Vegas for how long now?
I came here in 2003.
2003. You officially moved here.
Well, not officially. I just was like, I'm here. I never really left.
I came to visit and I just stayed.
Yeah.
So yeah. And,
I came to fill in for another sideshow performer. That's how I got to Vegas.
Oh.
Is they needed somebody to fill in for a sideshow performer at a show called Shock.
I do remember
casino. That. So he was on there full time. It was like a Thursday, or it was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. It was either 2 or 3 shows a week or something like
that. Was that Brad Byers? Who was that?
No, that wasn't Brad.
It wasn't Brad Byers. I don't want to forget. You guys can call in live and talk to Andrew and myself. The number is 702-660-7666. By the way, that was not planned. I know some of you might be thinking that we bought this number. When I met Aaron and he told me about this whole live thing and he had a live phone number, he was like, and this is the number, and I just started giggling uncontrollably. Right. Because those of you guys that know me know why I think that's funny. But you guys can call in. So 702-660-7666. You can call in. You can ask Andrew all kinds of crazy questions. So please call in or whatever. But we're gonna play some other video stuff of some of the stunts and crazy stuff he has done. But right now you're in the show Run, which is at the Luxor. And how long has the show been open now?
We opened last October 24th.
October 24th.
Yeah.
And you guys, it's just 1 show a night or 2 shows a night?
We started off with 2, but now we're at 1.
We're at 1. And is it 5 or 6 days?
5 days a week.
5 days a week.
Yeah.
And they can contact the Luxor box office. CirqueDuSoleil.com, I'm sure, has
CirqueDuSoleil.com. I think it's .com/run.
Yeah.
Or you can just look up Cirque du Soleil Run. Vegas and boom.
It's and it's the newest Cirque du Soleil show, but it's not like any of the other Cirque shows because it's.
Well, hold on. Cirque has a lot of traveling shows as well. They have a lot of shows going on all over the world. Some of them are, if I'm not mistaken, or meant to be temporary, seasonal.
Yes.
Know? And then other ones are in hard brick and mortar. Buildings.
Yeah, well, the original one that was here in town, which is Mystère, which is still at Treasure Island.
Yeah.
All these years later, when I first came to Las Vegas, which was around 1995, that I went and saw that show. And it was the first live Cirque du Soleil show I ever saw because I'd seen them on television.
Yeah, same.
And I was like, wow, these guys, this is neat. Like, I don't know what it is. It's weird. But I liked it. But that was the thing. Yeah. It was weird, and I liked it. And it was circus, but it was a different kind of circus. Of course, there's no animals in their show, which made them different than every other circus immediately, and relied a lot on costuming.
Well, non-human animals.
Non-human animal. Yeah. Well, I think they all got that part. But it's like it wasn't any of the traditional things. There was no lions, no tigers, no elephants, none of that kind of good stuff. And I remember watching it, and I was like, wow, this is really weird. And then I went to go see Mystere, and they had a live band, and they're up in the sides of the stage, and there's singers, and there's all this kind of stuff. And then there's all this amazing acrobats, amazing scenery. Those stages are crazy. Everything's great. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then I've seen every show that's ever been in Las Vegas that they have, and they're just great shows. And then now they created this show.
Yeah.
Which is not like any of the shows they had ever created.
It's a step away from circus.
Yeah. It's not really a circus show at all. There's no, in the sense that there's no acrobats.
But yeah, there's no and now we have
and now the trapeze will happen, and now the clowns will come out.
It's a live action movie is how it's being.
Because the show is written by Robert Rodriguez, who, if you guys don't know who he is, you should, because you probably have seen many of his movies. But
300 and
300 what else did he do? From Dusk Till Dawn, he was involved in
Sin City.
Yeah,
Sin City and 300.
This guy has written some amazing. He works a lot with Quentin Tarantino, I believe.
Yeah.
And so it's in that kind of style, and he wrote. Is this the first live show he's ever been involved in?
I'm not sure about that.
You don't know? Okay. I think it is.
I'm pretty sure.
From what I've read,
yeah.
I believe it's the first time he's ever written for a live theatrical performance and not a movie.
Yeah.
Which is neat. I mean, you guys have this video. I've gone to see the show. I actually performed for you guys for the opening party.
Yes, you did. Yes, you were there
for the opening party, which was funny. So, which was great because, but before that happened, the producers were like, those of us who were performing at the party, they were like, we want you to come see the show because we want you guys to get a feel for what we've created. So when you guys do your thing for the opening night, you stay within the branding.
Yeah, even one of the people you're working with is dressed as my character.
Yes, which was super funny for me.
Or a version of what my character.
And your character,
like,
and who do you play in the show?
I play the doctor.
The doctor.
Or the torturer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because in the show you do some horrific things to people and to yourself.
No, I don't do anything bad to myself except for maybe,
well, I mean, you allow
some
them
bad dance moves that I picked up.
I do remember the dance moves at the very end of the show, and don't think I haven't forgotten any of those.
Yeah, so my character is probably the least nice person in the entire show, and it's kind of my deal to torture a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And
So in the show, because it's a live action movie basically.
For sure.
So
people doing full body burns. We got motorcycle jumps.
The motorcycle guys, I love those motorcycles.
There's 3 different types of motorcycles in there. If you didn't notice,
I did not notice. I know they are electric.
Yeah, they're all electric.
They're all electric because obviously you couldn't have the fumes and gasoline.
Well, you could, but that would just be a different era.
I don't think
there'd also be people smoking pipes in the same way.
I don't think a lot of people would be very overly thrilled with the smell of gasoline smell. No. But the guys doing those stunts, I mean, it's pretty incredible, and they're not that far from the audience.
No, they drive through the audience, man. They go up the stairs.
They go up the stairs, down through the crowd. The video mapping that you guys have there is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you guys have a live DJ,
mm-hmm.
which I thought was really cool. At first, I didn't even realize it. So we're sitting in the audience, and the show's like just, you're coming in, and there's all this cool video mapping on the wall, and your picture comes up. I'm like, yeah, Andrew. And then they have a camera in the girl in the DJ booth, but you don't realize where it is unless you really scan the whole room.
The
whole room is really the theater, is really the stage, because the action happens everywhere. Like, it's not, which is really kind of cool, because it's like, but the cool thing about it is you guys have live camera people
mm-hmm.
who are shooting all the action live, which I thought was really cool. I mean, some people might not like it or whatever, but I thought it was neat. And I really liked the fact that they made the filters on the cameras make it look almost like a live graphic novel.
That's well, I mean, that's what 300 in Sin City are.
Yeah, exactly.
Graphic novels. Yeah,
and
it's going along with that.
So I thought that was really, really cool. And I was like, and then you guys are doing some pretty crazy stunts. You have like the acrobats and there's high flying stuff and fire, and the pyro is great.
Dude, the fireworks going off are pretty nuts.
Yeah,
it gets warm in there.
I bet.
Yeah, another one of my duties is actually just putting on a full on like race car pit driver suit.
Yes.
And putting on a face mask to put people out on fire
just
on the
in
side
case.
stage.
Wow.
That's like the other thing I do in the show.
Oh, okay. So you're a little bit of a double duty.
Like most people in the show do it like 2-3 different things,
which is a lot like which is a lot like circus.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of people don't realize when they watch like actual circuses, like the one person in the center ring can then all of a sudden become a different family that's in the left ring, ring or right ring, and stuff like that. I was like, and now this family, and now this family, and meanwhile it's the same guy. He was just over on the other side, and now he's now he's in a different outfit and he's juggling, and over here, he's a trapeze guy, and but a lot of people don't realize a lot of these circuses, like you have to play multiple parts. Because it's just not cost effective to have that many people to do all these jobs.
What I'm really excited about is every single person that I work with, from the top to the bottom, from performance to administration, they're all pro.
Yeah.
And they're all real nice. And we all know that this is everything we're doing in there. It has really big safety issues.
Yes.
And the bond that we get after working with each other and seeing our friends completely ignited on fire every day and making sure that they're safe.
Yes.
Is just been really awesome.
I mean, because you do a scene with a guy where it looks like you're breaking his arm. But obviously this guy is, a different human being.
Right.
I guess is a good way to say it. He's a different human being. But I mean, I was in the audience, and when you do that move, like people around me were physically disturbed by what they were watching.
Oh, you want to know what it felt like when I was the one practicing breaking his arms?
Yes, of course I want to know.
Well, yeah. So those people going, I'm not supposed to do this, and then they're like, okay, yeah, now do that, and I'm like,
and he's like, yeah, this is gonna be great.
Yeah, but I do have a history in massage therapy, so I am familiar with the body, maybe more so than the average person.
Yeah.
And so that helped. Of me being able to go, okay, I understand what's going on here, rather than just going.
Now, a lot of the stuff you do in the show in Run at the Luxor, that is 5 nights a week, just so people know, it's very physically demanding and very dangerous. Yeah. And so you don't perform every single show.
I'm not on stage. Okay, I do split the.
You split it with another performer.
Yeah, there's another guy I work with, Ozzy Blood. What's up? Me and him take turns playing the same character.
Exactly, because if something were to happen to one or the other of you, your job essentially is this: you guys can step in and continue the show.
And the stuff that we do is physically demanding on us, and it's not just like, oh, we need to just work out more. Well, no, it's soft tissue. That,
because I mean, let's be realistic. You shove this like. Was it like a pigtail, I guess? Is how
like
you kind of described it to me? It's like a pigtail corkscrew kind of thing that goes
corkscrew with a handle
and goes into your nose and out your mouth, which is similar to your other stunt, but a little bit different. And then you actually let somebody put a power drill in your nose, which is a stunt I do.
All the stuff that they're doing to us after the tables get turned.
Yes.
They're doing it to us. I'm not handling
which is really
any of
weird
my
because I mean,
at all.
so I do multiple shows a day. Yeah. I work at the as you know, I work at the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum. So I do shows from the time we open to the time we close. So it can run anywhere from 20 to 30 shows a day, and I do the power drill stunt as part of my shtick, right? So I do it every day to me. I've never had anybody do it to me.
Yeah.
And I know that when I first saw that, I was like, well, that's interesting because you're going to have a lot of trust in somebody because I know when I'm putting it in, I adjust it and move it around depending on what I'm hitting.
Yeah.
You know.
As the producer here, I just wanted to know what are you talking about? You stick a drill in your
power drill,
running power drill going in
like
the
with the bit and everything.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Otherwise, it's just a drill.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, yeah, that's why it's cool.
Yeah. that's why we get paid the big bucks.
That's why people pay us to do it. Exactly. But you know, I mean, a lot of us do the power drill, but right. I don't know anybody who's letting other people do the power drill to them.
Me and Ozzy.
Yeah, just the two of you.
I'm sure there's some other people out there.
There might be. I don't know. I mean, and very well could be other people out there doing that.
We had to train a handful of people to do that, and then also when we get the sword that is more like flattened pipe, kind of deal, which I designed a blade for that.
Yeah.
But teaching, I don't know, 5 or 6 people how to put swords into us.
Yeah.
And then also hammer it down our throats that are not sword swallowers. But, like I said before, everybody I work with is professional and they care about your safety because they're stuntmen and women. Yes. Or dancers or bike riders or, you know, all sorts of stuff. So they understand that each profession has its own minute details that you don't know about. Yeah. You know. And so they listen to us, they talk to us, they're familiar with their bodies as well. You know, they're athletes.
They're athletic.
You know, so surprisingly, it was pretty easy to teach them.
And they were
how to do it safely.
Well, that's great.
A few of them were like,
a little freaked out.
Do this,
well,
but
of course.
Like, okay, so we got it. You know, it was kind of
I'm gonna hammer this sword that's in this guy's throat. I just met him like 10 minutes ago,
right?
And here we go. You know, which I mean, if something goes wrong, I mean, you know very well. I mean, if, you can get injured doing sword swallowing pretty badly.
Right, and so I designed a blade that was like the safest I could think of possible
for doing that many shows back to back.
Shows back to back
with other people who are not doing that
are not sword swallowers, putting it inside of you.
Yeah, and relying on them to do it. Right.
But what was interesting is just a couple of shows in, they're now being able to read the passageways either in the nose or in the throat, just like if they were a sword swallower.
Yeah.
They're specialized in just that one area now because I'm getting feedback and they're going, did that happen? I'm like, oh, cool, you noticed that.
You know, oh, okay.
Yeah, so
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So I want to do real quick. I want to show people on.
Still doesn't make it any less scary though.
Oh no, of course. I watched the show and I'm sitting there going, holy shit, you are huge balls, man. Just like giant elephant testicles that you have. So I'm gonna pull up a thing here, Aaron. Can we pull this up on the YouTube thing here? Online. I want to show you guys a thing here that Andrew has done. He did a suspension. I know some people might be familiar with hook suspensions and stuff, where they put the hooks in their body and they get picked up in the air.
Fresh piercings through skin.
Yeah, but this one is different because this is a suspension with hooks freshly pierced through your face. And then you were pulled up off the ground.
Yeah, I was the second person known to do this.
Second person known to do this.
Yeah,
so
first guy was Supa.
So here you are laying on the table. Just walk us through some of this, if you could.
I already did a previous suspension.
That day?
That day from my back.
Okay.
These are two of some of the best suspension practitioners in the world. In fact, this was a convention that's where all the best practitioners get together.
Okay.
So, yeah, just about everybody there is a.
So they mark you so that they get the thing. I mean, they're going really fast.
Yeah. So this whole thing, there's people trying out new stuff.
Yeah.
And you get the range of emotions from people laughing and cracking up to having really personal experiences to people trying stuff new. It's like this is just really pushing ourselves, and supporting each other and coming up with crazy, intense things to push ourselves and explore ourselves.
I mean,
that's
the
really
skin,
wordy,
the skin
but,
is amazing. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think a lot of people realize how strong.
And what I want you to notice in here is there's almost, I counted a couple of times at random events, there's about a 50-50 split male-female suspension.
Yeah.
The top person on that 3-tier is a woman.
Wow.
So that's
and I've
had
had some people like this. I did a suspension.
Watch this.
Many years ago.
He's transferring from one hook to another one hook. He did 5 points.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's my buddy Neil. What up, Neil?
I mean, is that in his butt?
Yeah, that's an astronaut. That's a single point astronaut.
Astronaut?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
And so this one was grieving for a friend of ours that just recently died. And you can see the range of, people having fun or people just doing silly suspensions or
and
whatever.
everybody has their own reasons for doing this of stuff.
For
and,
sure.
And I understand. I mean, I know that the adrenaline and the endorphins and all that kind of stuff can kick in during these kinds of things.
But there's like a tactile illusion that happens. It's really strange.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe.
Wow.
Of just hanging by your skin. I mean,
that's a lot of force. That's a lot of force being applied.
Right.
I do like this one a lot because it reminds me of like a little kid. And the little thing goes over the kid.
That one was a lot of fun, yeah.
Where's your spot here?
Oh, it's coming up.
Is it coming up?
You can fast forward. You can press the.
I just want to kind of.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
So yeah, here's 7 hooks in my face. The main guy facilitating it is Hove out of Norway.
So there's this thing, and
Wings of Desire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the things in your head, in your face.
Mm-hmm. I wanted the suspension I couldn't look away from.
Yeah. I mean, you're hanging your full body weight, and how much you only weigh? At
that time, I was maybe 125, 130.
125, and just hanging fully from your face.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty intense. Look
how
tiny your beard is.
I know.
It's just a baby beard.
It was a baby beard. But I went up for about 2 minutes, and I started feeling something weird behind my ear, so I came down. That sensation went away. I took a break for a second, and then I went back up for like another 4 minutes. So altogether about 6 minutes.
Wow, that's just incredible stuff, dude. Now a lot of people, of course, are like, "Oh my God, dude, you're just a crazy person," or "You're just like, I just love pain." And it's like, and I try. People ask me that. I get asked a lot of that, daily, doing the kind of stuff that I do. They're like, "Oh, do you love pain?" I was like, I don't love pain. I was like, I don't mind it when you can control it to a degree. And it's hard to explain to somebody who's never done it or never had a desire to do it what it's like to make that transition.
Well, I just kind of go like when people plucking their eyebrows. Oh, do you like pain? No, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, how do you not like blah blah blah?
Or waxing.
When you like
that seems horrible.
Oh, have you ever had the ballpark done?
No. What's that?
Horrible. Think about it.
Think about it. Are you talking about the hums?
Yeah.
So you have some world records.
I do.
How many world records do you currently have?
I have one official Guinness World Record, and that is for the longest rigid object or piece of metal traversed through the human skull or something like that. It's kind of a long name, but it's just for the metal coil we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It's just my big one.
It's the big coil.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So,
and shout out to our buddy Enigma, because he offered. They were asking if they knew anybody who did stuff with their nose, and like, you need to call my friend. So
nice.
yeah, Enigma set me up with that.
Nice.
And a trip out to Italy.
There you go. Can't beat that. I think they're in at the Philly Tattoo Show just ended, and I thought I saw him posting some stuff that he was there. I did the Philly Tattoo Show many years ago, and I had a Singolo set up there. And for those of you guys who don't know what that is, it's an exhibit. It's a sideshow exhibit, and I had a chupacabra on display inside, so people pay $1. They come in and they look at the thing, and it's a fun little thing, and it's usually a single exhibit. That's why I call it Singolo. And then it's what is it and all that kind of stuff. And I had this little chupacabra guy made up, and people would come in and take a look. But his booth was right across from mine, so of course during like lunch breaks and stuff where most people weren't in the dealer's room anymore, he and I would talk and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't even know if he remembered.
Did you guys ever?
He was supposed to tattoo me.
Did he tell you any? Did he give you any puns?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Did he break out into any show tunes or Roy Orbison?
No.
He's got a great singing voice.
Does he really?
He can play the hell out of a piano.
Really?
Really good.
I'd love to get him on. If I can get him out here, I'd love to get him on. But
I keep telling him he needs to like open up a lounge in the Venetian, and he just plays piano for the Blue Man Lounge.
Oh my God! Can you imagine him in Blue Man Group?
Well, he's the piano player,
Yeah.
He's already
So
blue.
for those of you guys who don't know who the Enigma is, you can Google him.
Oh, and just for fun, have a comparison between. There's a recent show. What's her name? Something Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah. So if you look up some of her advertisements and then some of Enigma's old advertisements.
Really?
And if you realize, do you know what Lady Gaga's shows here is called?
What is it?
Enigma.
Ah.
Yeah. And if you compare it with some of his old logos and then her old
logos. A little
logos,
similar?
I bet you there's somebody in the art department that was really lazy.
Who was really lazy. That's a nice way
I'm not
to
saying
say
anything
it.
about Gaga. I'm saying that I'm imagining there's somebody in your art department that might need to have a talking to.
Step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you guys don't know who the Enigma is, you probably have seen him. He is blue from head to toe, pretty much, and with puzzle pieces. It's giant, all puzzle pieces, an entire body.
And then he's got some other designs. over it,
mixed in. Yeah. And I remember first seeing him on the Jim Rose Circus Sideshow, which is probably where most of us discovered him and a lot of those guys. I remember I was into sideshow stuff, but I didn't know what to do with it. I was eating fire and I was doing blockhead and all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden this Jim Rose guy comes out.
Yeah.
And I remember and I still have the VHS tape at home.
Yep, same.
Still have it, and I
1994.
watched that damn tape.
Seattle.
Probably 2,000-3,000 times. I don't know. Probably not maybe that much, but
Yeah.
I watched it so much that the first time I ever did, when I started doing blockhead, when I started doing it on stage after I saw Jim, I was just doing Jim Rose's routine, like word for word, exactly the way he did, same fucking jokes, everything. I stole the whole goddamn thing. And but I was really young, and once again it was like, I guess you just do this.
Yeah.
And I did the whole thing, and then I got, somebody came to me like, hey, you know what? That's exactly Jim Rose's act. And I'm like, you're supposed to do that? And so, but hey, there's the Enigma right there. If you guys can see what he looks like.
That's back when he was a baby.
Yeah, he's a lot more blue now, and his eyes are also blue.
No, his eyes are black.
Black? Are they black?
I was there for that.
Blue. Oh, you were there when he got tattooed?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking
But he
about.
doesn't have horns anymore either.
He pulled those out?
He was one of the first people in the world to get horns.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember him talking about that.
Possibly the first. I forget exactly.
I saw Jim Rose here in Vegas at the Huntridge, which is now no longer.
I remember hearing about that show. Yes.
I was at that show.
Okay.
And
that was before I was here.
And it was a pretty great show. I remember being very, very excited, and I went there by myself. Nobody else wanted to go with me, and I was just like, "Well, I'm going. I don't give a shit. I'm going." And there was a couple other people I wound up running into there, but
I've met almost everybody from that video.
Yeah,
from that VHS tape.
Yeah, I worked with Zamora. And I know you have as well. He and I were on the Hells of Poppin' touring sideshow for I think we were like 3 months on the road together or something like that. But
that sounds about right.
Yeah, it was.
I did Hells of Poppin' last year.
Yeah, you did Hells of Poppin' last year. It was great. Also, guys, if you want to talk, call in 702-660-7666. You can call in right now, and you can talk to Andrew or myself, or
Speaking of world records. I guess unofficially, and if somebody could show me video otherwise, that would be great. But I think I have the most weight lifted with the eye sockets.
Yeah?
Which is 120 pounds.
Damn.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
I was sitting at about 115 as my max limit for quite a while.
Now, when you do the eye socket, because I do a variation of that as well. I pull the skin forward and I put the hook into.
You do the traditional version.
Yes.
I do the variation.
You do the variation.
Yeah.
So, and you have it's a big giant ass metal hook, and then you actually put it on the outside.
Yeah.
Into the eye sockets themselves.
Yeah.
Where I say eye sockets. during my spiel, but it's not.
You used to not say eye sockets before you started seeing me perform. It was always eyelids.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Guarantee you never said eye sockets.
I thought I said eye socket weightlifting. So I had a whole joke for like eye socket weightlifting, because George the Giant was the first person that I saw do it.
With the eyelids, though.
But yeah, and he had a 3-prong little hook. Yeah, and it's like they were tiny hooks, and he would pick up like a can of Coke with it, and then he would drink the Coke, and I was like, oh my God, I really want to do that, and but I didn't have those hooks at home. But what I did have was some deep sea fishing hooks where I went fishing, so I clipped the pointy end and the hook off, and then just ran it up. Oh, we got a call. We got a call. All right, we got a call. We're gonna go to the phones.
Oh no, who is this?
I don't know. Who's calling in? You're on that? You're on? Yeah, go ahead.
Ashley?
Hi, Ashley. What's your question?
I was just wondering, how do you mentally prepare yourself before you do stunts like that?
Oh, like which ones?
All of them.
Any of them.
All of them. If you've already practiced a whole bunch of times, you just kind of clear your mind and do the thing that you're already good at. Because if you second guess yourself, that's where you're gonna usually get your injuries from.
Yeah.
So practice, relax.
I do get a lot of people who are like, oh my God, how do you do? How do you prepare for that? And I'm just like, you just got to do it.
Yeah, like with a juggler, if you're thinking too much, you're gonna drop a ball.
Yeah. I remember the first time I ever ate a light bulb. It was just like I broke a piece of glass in the sink. I took it and I put it in my mouth and I chewed it up, and then waited to see what happened the next day.
Yeah, it's just like eating.
Like,
how'd you get your first piece of tofu? You just put it in your mouth. No, just do it. Don't hesitate. Just get.
Tofu is so gross. But, well, plain tofu is good. Thank you, Ashley, for calling in.
Thanks,
Ashley.
Ashley.
Thank you. But you have some other talents, and I want to show this. If we can get a shot of this, Aaron. I have go in this camera over here. All right. I have a rock here. And can you explain what you do to these rocks? Because this is really neat.
So this is like just standard lava rock, basalt goodness. And then I take focused sunlight. Like, where are we at?
Which camera? You keep talking.
Okay. So yeah, I take the rock and I use focused sunlight and I melt it into glass.
Wow.
So
that's really cool. Now you
can see over here.
Just move it to the GoPro there.
Move it to
in
the
the
GoPro
corner.
right
there you go. There you go.
Where's the?
Yeah.
Get that out of the way. We don't need that. Kind of hard to see where I'm at.
Yeah.
There it is. Anyway, yeah, it melts over right there. So yeah, this is just one of my test rocks here. So what I'll normally do is grind it with a Dremel, shape it into what I want, and then just melt the other side. So this right here is one I did of Oahu.
Showed into the.
This is my GoPro.
There you go.
Oh, this is gonna be a little hard to see.
Yeah. Don't get it in front of the phone number.
Right. So yeah, this is my home island of Oahu in Hawaii, and you can see that it's kind of shiny black glass on there.
But this is like a thing you just do for fun, kind of thing, like.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you have a lot of other talents, you know, art-wise and stuff. I've seen.
I make stuff.
Like, yeah, you make stuff. You know.
I got it. I just got to make things. That is my therapy. That is how I stay sane. Is making and creating. If I'm not doing that, then I don't do so good.
Don't do so good.
So yeah,
I want to show. I want to show people at home who are watching this something kind of cool. Now this was another thing that you showed me one time. I don't remember the first time you showed it to me. I want to say I think we were at a restaurant. I want to say we were out somewhere eating here in town, and you were like, "I can do this thing," and you were like, "It's this heart thing," and I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Well, what can you do?" And you're like, "I can move my heart," and I'm like,
"Yeah."
What? And you were like, I can move my heart. I'm like, what do you mean by that? And you're like, I can drop my heart down below my chest plate and you can see it beating through my skin.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're full of shit. But you can do that for us right now.
I can do that for you. And there's another one, Goosebumps on Command.
I do remember that too. Yeah, which is also really neat.
Would you like to see it?
I do. I would love. I think everybody would love to see this at home. If you guys now, this is some of you guys might think this is like some kind of weird trick or effect or something of that nature. It is not fake. It is not fake. I have seen him do this many times, and I've
EMTs told me this is how a lot of people die in car accidents.
Yeah.
Is the heart moving and tearing aortas and stuff like that.
So Aaron, can we get a good close up shot in here of his chest? I know you're into that, Aaron.
Let me see if I can tuck my
you want to
beard into
you have
my beard.
you have a placeholder up there in your ear?
Yeah, there it is.
I love my friends. They're the best. So guys, make sure if you guys want to call in 702-660-7666. Phone lines are open.
Let me see if it's going to work. Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. So which one do you want to do first?
I'll start out with, I guess weird, but whatever. So the Goosebumps on Command, you got two different types of muscles in your body. You got voluntary and
Involuntary.
Okay, so making a fist is
Voluntary. Involuntary.
Well, it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Digestion.
Involuntary.
Breathing.
Involuntary.
Think about it.
Well, I mean, you can make it more voluntary,
It's
but
kind of both.
But it kind of
Yeah,
fly.
it's kinda both.
Yeah, it kind of does both. Yeah.
Kind of both.
Because when I'm sleeping, I'm not thinking about breathing.
Right.
Dreaming about puppies
And how they taste.
Well, I used to.
Right. So you got little tiny muscles on the at the ends of your hairs.
Yes. Let's move over this way a little bit. Yeah,
Well,
yeah. You can bring the.
take it with me.
Yeah.
This thing moves.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We good? Yeah. Okay. So the little tiny muscles that make your hair stand up on end, are those muscles voluntary or involuntary?
I think they're involuntary.
That's what we've been told, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see any goosebumps at all on my arm?
No.
Okay. So when you see them, point at them,
Okay.
but give me a 10-second countdown.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yep. I can see them starting to raise up. Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah, today's not my best day for it. It is also about 80 degrees in here.
It's a little warm.
It's a little warm. But
But you do this. The heart thing is amazing.
Yeah. So your heart is here in the center of your chest with a slight bulge on the left.
Yes.
People are saying, no, it's up here in your armpit. No, it's not. It's in the center, a slight bulge on the left.
Yes.
Okay, so it is also above your diaphragm.
Yes.
The big muscle underneath your lungs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my heart and I'm going to push it down, and it's going to do a slight rotate, and you're going to see it beat on either side of my xiphoid.
Okay.
Process. You got the breastbone.
I have seen this before, and it's freaky. It's freaky, and I do love it because it's so weird.
It's going to take me a second to do
Yeah.
this.
So like I said, people, this is not a trick. This is not like a fake, like a magic trick or special effect or anything like that. He is actually physically controlling his body to do this thing, and it's pretty cool. I just find it fascinating.
Okay, here we go.
The human body is so impressive. You have gotten a lot more ripped since you've been with Cirque, though. It's almost there. You can see it beating right through his chest right here. Right there. It's pretty, yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that at home or not. I don't know if the camera can pick it up or not.
You want to feel it?
Yeah, you can feel it. It's straight up legit. Yeah. Can you guys see that on camera at all? Aaron, you can see it? Oh, okay, good. All right, you can put it back now. So
that's part. We got part two. Just
part
put it back.
Yeah.
A lot of blood on the head. I haven't done that in a minute.
In a minute.
Yeah.
But he does amazing stuff. I mean, it's like nothing you've really seen. And if you guys are here in Vegas, please go. If you guys want to see a new Cirque show at the Luxor, you can go see Run. And it is. And now I want to tell you guys, it's not like any Cirque show you've seen before. It is much different than every other Cirque show.
Yeah, it's like a live action movie.
So don't expect, don't expect the clowns and all the acrobats and stuff. It's just not that.
But do expect Cirque quality.
But just it's definitely it is high production value, amazing special effects and video mapping and live action that like there's no other show in town that has all this stuff. There really isn't. There just isn't.
I can't think of any show.
There's no other show that's doing it.
Motorcycles and full body burns.
Yeah, there's nobody. I don't know anybody else in town who's doing it. I mean, and Cirque, always tries to put out the best things, and I think it's a neat show, and I'm glad that you are in that show. I'm really glad because I remember there was a giant audition notice, of course, went out.
Yeah, and everybody
in Sideshow auditioned for it. I auditioned for it too.
Anybody,
none of us knew what the hell we were doing.
Anybody who's ever hammered a nail in their nose applied.
Well, it was so weird because what they were looking for, like in the audition notice, was like electricity and swords and this and that, and it's like so. I think every Sideshow person in the country thought, okay, well, I want to do that.
Yeah,
I want to work for Cirque, and why wouldn't you? I mean, it's a great company to work for, I imagine. Now, online, I want to dispel some rumors because
man,
online, I know,
here we go.
I don't want to shit talk, but online there's been some things posted, and I want you to clarify. It was saying that Run is closing, and you told me it is not. That they posted a thing that's not really true.
If it is the clickbait tabloid
yes
gossip site you're referring to, I think that they did say, is it closing or just closing down temporarily for it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
It's not closing.
It's not closing.
It's not closing.
They spent $62 million putting the show together. I don't think the show's closing at all. I don't think they're just going to let go of $62 million.
Yeah, like,
that would be ridiculous.
Just open up, hey, buy.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, a lot of people.
It's fine.
Yeah, a lot of people, I don't think, also realize what it takes to put shows on.
Yeah.
And the types of things that happen in shows. When new shows come to Las Vegas, even these great shows that everyone sees, there's a process where you open a show and then you tweak and tweak and tweak because you know what you think looks good 1 minute might not be as great.
Yeah.
What looks good on paper doesn't translate to an audience, and so you need to
where
fix those
they
things.
got their information from was look at this calendar. They're only selling tickets up to April or something like that.
Yes.
Well, it's a third-party calendar that has nothing to do with Cirque.
With Cirque du Soleil, okay.
I mean, it does because it's their tickets, but Cirque did not make that calendar.
Gotcha.
And B, most ticket brokers only sell a few months out.
Gotcha. Okay.
At a time. They're not going to sell 5 years in advance for a ticket.
Okay.
They want you to buy and only think about from now till April.
Gotcha.
Because that will squeeze in more people to that date.
And this is one of the things I wanted to bring up because I mean, online, of course, a lot of people I saw talking about this, and I wanted, and I saw something that you wrote, and that's why I wanted to say it because. If it's not true, I don't want people to like go on. Oh my God, the show is closing, and this is this and this is that, and it's done. And it's like, okay, it's not.
Well, the Merchants of Chaos were successful, weren't they?
They were. Yeah. They were to a degree, but that's the thing. I wanted to take this opportunity so people who are reading that kind of stuff also understand. Not everything you read online is true, and if you don't realize that by now, you're a fool. There's a lot of fake information. Believe it or not, people, there's fake information online.
Or, you know what? Sometimes there's good-meaning, honest people that just get it wrong. There's also that, too.
Here's the thing I love about you. Even when people are mean to you, and I've seen this, you're one of the most positive people I know, and it's awesome. And
when I'm speaking publicly, I try to be diplomatic.
Well, I know, but I mean, we've talked privately when there's nothing around.
True.
And you're still this way. Like I mean, you've had people do bad things to you, and you're still like, well, but you're still like you're just a nice guy.
I try to be.
You're just a nice guy, and I appreciate it.
There's a few of those personalities inside here. There's a few that
of course, we all have that. We all have that. I mean, you've known me for long enough, and you've seen the other parts of what my life was like at one point.
Yes.
And
Same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, both of us have been down the crazy train and have turned things around to a positive way.
And now we're both vegan,
and now
we
we're
don't
both
drink.
vegan, and we don't drink. Yeah. I went from, doing all kinds of things, and now I don't do anything, and I eat plant-based meat products.
So what's the difference between vegan and plant-based? Sorry, I've been out of the loop.
Oh, I don't even know. I'm not that.
Oh, it's the same. It's the same thing.
Well, plant-based. It's like it's fake ground meat, I guess you could say, but it's plant-based, but it tastes like it and it looks like it. Well,
it's plant-based,
yeah.
And so if you cover it in duck sauce, it's still the base product is plant.
Yeah.
It's just covered in duck sauce.
Yeah.
Now. So I went to a restaurant and I was like, it was like, oh, everything here's plant-based. I'm like, so this is all vegan, right? And he's like, it's plant-based, and I was like, that's not what I asked you.
Yeah. Like, no, all the components have to be vegan.
Plant-based is a new word that I somehow missed missed the memo.
You got to be careful with it. Well, I think we're just about wrapping it up. Man, I could talk to you forever.
We spent
I
many
thank
car rides together.
And I love you.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so thankful you came on the show.
If you need me back,
of course. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for having me.
This is Andrew S. of the Swing Shift Sideshow. Go see him at the Luxor Run. Go to GoLive Vegas app on your phones, and please download it. Like us and download us and all that kind of good stuff on Facebook at After Dark Host and YouTube After Dark Host, and find us there on all the things, and keep us in.
Oh, yeah. I got the Instagrams and the Facebooks. But you can find everything through swingshiftsideshow.com.
Yes. Thank you, guys. And come back next week. I have a good buddy of mine, Joe D'Amico, who is an amazing handicapper, sports handicapper, and he's going to be on the show with us. And this guy is a character like you've never seen. I encourage you guys to tune in next week. Thank you guys so much. My name is John Shaw, and this is After Dark.